Hi, my name is Rich Kettner. Some of you may remember me. I was the one who started the Guitar Fellowship back in February of 2019. And we got to meet February, and then March, we had our very last meeting just as COVID was beginning. And then they shut it down for months. Well, my wife and I moved from California. We were able to escape to Arizona in late October. So while I'm here now in Arizona, I'm still good friends with Randy Rue, who's running the group. And Randy and I were talking, and I said I'd love to still be a part of it. So he asked me to do a little thing about finger picking. So I saw on the website there were some videos about finger picking, but they were a little more advanced. So I want to start for people that might be beginners. So to give you some background, I've been playing for about 50 years. And when I started in the early 70s, there was a popular movement then in rock music called singer-songwriters. People that traditionally played more acoustic instruments, acoustic guitar, acoustic piano, and they were like storytellers singing these personal, intimate songs. Some of these artists were Joni Mitchell, Carole King, James Taylor, Paul Simon, and I was a big fan of James Taylor's music. He sings songs, but he plays only on guitar and just fingerstyle. So when I was younger, I mostly played with a pick and strumming, and I learned a little bit to pluck some chords, but I got to James Taylor's song, a song called Country Roads, where he goes, and I got to that and had no idea how he was doing that. So to back up, my knowledge of finger picking had been like this. If I'm playing a C chord, probably most of you know, what you want to do traditionally is you're going to use your fingers as guitar picks. And if you get a book that discusses finger style, they're going to call, the thumb would be labeled as T, your index finger is I, middle finger is M, and your ring finger is A. So traditionally, classical players and fingerstyle guitar players only use these fingers. I know of a few people that use pinkies, but I don't do that. So the easiest way to do this might be play a chord. We'll do a C for now. And I'm just going to place one finger on each string. So my thumb is going to sit on the 5th string where my note C is. And then I'll put my index finger on the 4th string, my middle finger on the 3rd string, and my ring finger on the 2nd string. And what I did initially was this kind of motion. I'm going to have my thumb slightly ahead of my fingers. My hand's kind of moving like this, kind of like I'm grabbing a ball. My 3 fingers move toward my thumb, and my thumb moves down toward them, kind of gripping. So put them all on the strings, and then, so they all sound at the same time. So that was pretty easy to do. So I could do that, and changing the chord shape, we still pluck the same motion. Then, when I was a kid, this was the early days of country music, what they would often do is that same motion, but they'll alternate the thumb and these 3 fingers. So I'll pluck a thumb note, and then pluck those fingers. So if you're counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what country players would very often do is alternate the bass notes. If it's a C chord, and this finger's on the 5th string, 3rd fret, I'm going to then move it to the 6th string, 3rd fret. So play the C chord, let this bottom note alternate from 5th string, 6th string, 5, 6. So down here my hand is still doing this motion, but alternating thumb, fingers, thumb, fingers. My finger, my left hand, chord shape, maybe to an F. I'm still going to alternate these two notes. That was what I did when I was younger, but when I got to James Taylor, his music sounded like this. So my problem was that alternating pattern of thumb, fingers, didn't work. So what James is doing is alternating the order of fingers. Instead of always thumb and these three working as a group, these might be independent. So let me show you what that looks like on a D chord. But down here, instead of hitting all four strings at once, I may go thumb, 1, 2, 3. Or you can change the order. Maybe thumb, 3, 2, 4. Or thumb, 4, 3, 2. It can really be any order that you want. And then another thing that James Taylor did to make it trickier still was adding hammer-ons. If this is the D chord, a hammer-on means I'm going to start with an open note, the first string. After that note sounds, I'm going to strike it with my finger, like my finger kind of acting as a hammer. Encourage you to start simple with the fingers all doing the same motion, squeezing together. And as some of the other videos on the website said, maybe start with your left hand blocking the neck or just playing it open, kind of like that, and just trying to get that motion down first. Add a chord, whatever chord you like, it doesn't even matter. And it doesn't matter what string sets I put these three fingers. I'm doing a G chord, so I'm now on 6, 4, 3, 2. Or you could play 6, 3, 2, 1, kind of whatever you like. Or switch it, move it around. It kind of depends on the sound that you like. So do this motion first. When you start to get that, and that might take you, depending on your ability, it may take a half an hour, it may take a week, it may take a month. It totally depends on your level, where you're at as a guitar player. Then I would move to the thumb and the fingers. And again, do it slow. It doesn't have to be fast. You may want to practice with a metronome. That might be beneficial. So the little machines that click will help you keep the beat together. And again, that could take you from 30 minutes to months to kind of learn that. Then when you start to slowly get that, then start to switch chords and try to add it. And then the last step would be kind of alternating fingers as James Taylor did. So let me do, I just played a G, C, G, D. But I'm going to do that where my fingers are kind of doing their own thing. And you'll see it sounds more like a song. So here we go. all of this stuff takes time. And I would just tell you, kind of a disclaimer, fingerstyle can take a long time. Because if you're used to playing with a pick, you think back to when you started, even just filling with a pick can take quite a while to develop that skill. But now essentially, 1, 2, 3, you have 4 picks if you choose to use all 4 fingers. And it can take quite a while. So just take it slow, enjoy the journey. I hope some of this helped out, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next month. God bless.